fall. fall, football, Friday Night Lights. High school football on KSUU Thunder 91.1 is brought to you by Hermes Drive-In, by Township Pharmacy, 5 Buck Pizza, by Wendy's, Ogden's Flooring and Design, and by Brad's Food Hut. With kickoff just moments away, let's head to the field for tonight's gridiron action on Thunder 91.1. Friday Night Lights playoff edition. It's round 2 of the UHSAA State Championship playoffs, and the Cedar Reds, despite losing to the team that they face tonight in the regular season, the Reds get to host a home game against the number 3 team from Region 9, the Dixie Flyers. Ryan Steinekert here with Parker Haney on the Wendy's pregame show. And Parker, we had it was a great game when Cedar played at Dixie. What are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Super fun game. Last time these two matched up, the difference, I believe, in the game was, like you said before when we were talking, before we came on air, the difference, if we count turnover on downs, the turnover ratio was 6-1. Cedar turned the ball over 6 times while Dixie only turned it over once. You just got to eliminate that. I was down on the field talking to Coach Esplin, the defensive coordinator for the Cedar Reds, and he said it's going to be eliminating turnovers and eliminating the big plays. The 2 Anderson twins for Dixie are just very prolific offense. They're definitely big play guys. They are faster than everybody on the field, and they're going to burn you. So Coach Esplin said that he was telling his DBs all week, he said, hey, listen, if these guys get even with you while you're in your back pedal, it's going to be a touchdown, because you're just not going to turn and run with them. They're just faster than you. So keep everything in front of you. Keep it all in front of you where you can see it. Don't give up the big play. And then, of course, hold on to the ball. Limit the turnovers. It makes sense. The more often you have the ball, the more opportunities you have to score, the more likely you are to win the game. So I thought that Cedar definitely had a good chance to win the ball game last time, but give Dixie a ton of credit. They came out on top, and it's going to be a fun one here tonight.
You mentioned the 6-1 on the turnovers. Even if you don't count turnovers on downs, Cedar turned it over 4 times, 3 fumbles and an interception to Dixie's 1. And then you mentioned Avery Anderson and Shea Anderson on the first play from scrimmage. Bronson Barbin found Shea Anderson for a 76-yard touchdown pass over the top. Later in the game, Avery Anderson an 87-yard touchdown run. The big plays and the turnovers, I think those are probably the biggest keys, as you said.
Yeah, just eliminating the big plays and then the turnovers. And then other than that, kind of what my pregame show was going to be about is just it's going to be the tale of 2 quarterbacks. When we look at quarterback comparisons, Jaron Garrett for the Cedar Reds, 2,467 passing yards, 142 of 226. That's 62% completion rating, 16 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. And then Barbin for the Dixie Flyers, 2,483 passing yards, 170 for 320. That's 53% completion percentage, and then 18 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. That is, that's pretty neck and neck. That's right there. They're both going at it. However, the one outstanding thing that you pointed out is the rushing yards. Jaron Garrett comes in with 523 rushing yards, while Barbin only has, I think, like 40 rushing yards. So it's going to be the tale of the 2 quarterbacks, and I'm really excited.
I got a little bit more information on yardage and what these teams do offensively in just a bit. But first, this is the Wendy's pregame show, back with kickoff in a moment on Thunder 91. Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Hermes Drive-In is happy to sponsor youth activities in our area. They are located just north of the City Park on Main Street. Hermes features burgers, shakes, fries, and soft drinks, and a variety of other items, including scones. Hermes Drive-In, 294 North Main Street, Cedar City. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. Back on the Wendy's pregame show, Ryan Steinekert here with Parker Haney, and you were talking about the difference, or the similarities between the quarterbacks. If you look at offenses overall, Cedar and Dixie in Region 9 specifically, averaging right around 30 points per game. Cedar at 30.6, Dixie at 28.4. But Cedar, it's taking them almost 100 more yards of offense per game to get those 2 points. And we saw that when Cedar played at Dixie. Cedar actually outgained Dixie in offense, but those turnovers took opportunities to score away. Plus, was it the second quarter, Cedar settled for a couple of field goals, and had they scored a touchdown in one or both of those opportunities, would have been a different ball game.
Yeah, finishing in the red zone is what that breaks down to me. I feel like we've called a few Cedar games where I thought in my head, that's got to be a touchdown. I feel like, I don't know. I genuinely might just be making this up. I'm just, spitting here. But I feel like just from watching the games, I feel like Cedar more often than not scores on the big play, right? It's from outside of 40 yards or outside of 30 yards is when they get their touchdowns. When they're down inside the 20-yard line, I feel like they may struggle a little bit. Maybe it's because, Seth Brinkerhoff isn't as prolific as a back as he needs to be, but it's gonna come down to finishing the drives, because I think both defenses are gonna be ready to get it. Like we said, this is the second time they're seeing each other, and it's gonna be a fun one.
We got SUU Aviation dropping off the football for tonight's game. The blue helicopter hovering over the football field here at Cedar High. Might hear there comes the ball. More than one of the cheerleaders just kind of ducked their head for protection.
Once again, thank you, SUU Aviation, for presenting the game ball for this evening.
So this will be a big one tonight. Now, on top of the fact these teams have already played, they're both Region 9 teams. It was a tight game when they met at Dixie. Dixie comes in as the higher seed from the region, but the lower seed in the RPI, and this is a win or go home. One of these teams' season will end tonight. The other will go on and probably play Skyview, who's not having much trouble with Desert Hills so far.
Yeah, we will have a few Region 9 updates for you as the night goes on. Most of them are being live streamed, so we'll try and get those scores to you guys as often as possible. And I do love what you said, especially because the one team that it really matters, whether it's home and away, is Cedar, because Cedar is one of the only teams, in fact, I think the only team in Region 9 with a grass field. And as much as, people want to say it doesn't make a difference, it just does. It's thicker, it's harder to run in, the ball bounces weird, not that the ball should be on the ground anyway, but it's just different than playing on turf. So, yeah, I agree with you. The RPI rankings kind of are kind of a weird thing, and despite having the higher seed in Region 9, Dixie coming to Cedar to play this second-round playoff game.
Hernandez to kick off for the Reds.
Hernandez Hinojosa to kick things off for the Cedar Reds, kicking right to left. Dixie won the coin toss and elected to receive. Hernandez with a short kickoff. It's bobbled at the 15 and then scooped up from the 15, not even quite out to the 20-yard line. A very short return for Dixie.
Stop made by Charlie Cook.
Kind of a random play there. Hinojosa usually gets a hold of it and can send that one out the back of the end zone, but that one popped up short, and he bobbled it, and then Charlie Cook was able to make the stop.
Actually worked out for Cedar. It was a shorter kick, but it kind of hung in the air.
Yeah.
And the coverage team got down there in a hurry. Bronson Barbin, junior quarterback for Dixie. As Parker mentioned, he's completing 53% of his passes, almost 2,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 picks. Not much of a threat to run, 0.9 yards per carry. From the shotgun in the spread offense, quick throw out to the left side, and a diving catch made just beyond the 25.
Yeah, that is Josh Barney, a senior wide receiver. 565 yards on the season with 3 touchdowns. So look for him to be a targeted receiver tonight here for Barbin.
Out just beyond the 25-yard line, second down and a long 3. We'll call it 4. Barbin again from the shotgun. Quick look to the right, same throw, other receiver. Cornerback goes for the pick. The toss was high. Catch made down the sideline. First down, a little more. Pushed out at the 42.
Yeah, those Carson Greer don't have any stats on height, but he's at least 6'4", 6'5". Braxton Torres tried to jump the route, go underneath it, and missed the play, and that turns into a first down for Dixie.
18 yards and a first down. Barbin takes the snap. Not much to do. He's flushed out left, and actually, did he hand it off?
Yeah, he handed that off to Easton Ellett on the jet sweep. But, yeah, I agree with you. There were three Cedar Reds in the backfield, and Easton Ellett able to turn it into somewhat of a gain.
2-yard gain to the 45. Ball, no, the 46. Respotted for a gain of 3. Barbin again from the shotgun, looking into the sun, steps up, and he's brought down. You hear the Cedar fans liking that play.
That's Trayton Payne, who blew up that right tackle for Dixie. As soon as the ball was snapped, Trayton Payne blew through his tackle straight into the face of Barbin. That brings up a nice loss there for the Reds, puts them behind the sticks, brings up a 3rd and long for the Flyers.
A loss of 4. 3rd and 11. Barbin back to throw. Pressure comes again. Screen play up the middle. Anderson the catch and gets across the 50, but a bunch of Reds there. The ball comes loose, and the Reds have it.
A massive play there from the defense. We said it in the pregame. It's going to come down to turnovers. Cedar with the first turnover of this ballgame on Dixie's first offensive possession.
They'll spot it right at the Dixie 49-yard line. So Cedar with excellent field position. First quarter, 10:08 left to play, no score. They're on Thunder 91. Ball near the right hash, 2-back set. This was real successful for Cedar in the first half at Dixie. Man in motion, Braxton Torres, right to left. Garrett running the option, pitches to Torres, left side. He tries to make something and breaks a tackle in the backfield, picks up a couple.
Yeah, I want to talk about that turnover for Dixie really quick. That's kind of a tough one to turn over. Avery Anderson trying to just fight for that first down, right? Broke a couple tackles and then got held up. And when you're being held up like that, Cedar defenders come flying in and somebody put their helmet right on the ball and the ball popped loose. Tough one to give up right there.
I'll call it a 1-yard gain on the carry for Braxton Torres. 2nd down and 9. Cedar at the Dixie 48. Garrett from the shotgun. Hand to Brinkerhoff, right side. Tries to break it outside and then cuts inside of a tackle that would have been in the backfield. Barely gets to the line of scrimmage and then drives forward for maybe 1.
Yeah, both of those run plays I don't love. Cedar getting blown up off the line right now. I think you got to let Garrett drop back and sling it out to one of these explosive receivers.
Colby White, one of those certainly explosive receivers, 824 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns. Jack Cook has 7 receiving touchdowns this season. 3rd down and 9 after no gain on 2nd. Again, double back set in the shotgun. Garrett fakes the handoff, flushed out to his right, then a little hop throw to Brinkerhoff, breaks a tackle at the 46 and shoved out of bounds at the 47, a short gain.
Yeah, good defense there by Dixie. Didn't fall for the play action. Their DBs and linebackers got to their zones and stayed put. Unfortunately, I do think that Garrett had Jack Cook open in the middle of the field, and Garrett just missed him.
Maybe 1 yard, just football right between the 47 and 48-yard lines. And Cedar does nothing with a forced turnover at midfield. Hernandez to punt this one away. Good snap and a nice high punt. A lot of hang time on a wobble. And takes a Cedar bounce at the 15, down to the 5, stopped at the goal line. Did he keep it out? No.
Oh.
Football goes into the end zone for
yeah, that's a tough one. Unfortunately, I believe that you cannot touch the ball while you're in the end zone. So
yeah.
he jumped on top of that ball and then rolled over the top of it and ended up in the end zone as he was holding the ball. So even though the ball didn't go into the end zone, still considered a touchback. That ball will come out to the 20-yard line. So better starting field position than Dixie had on the last drive.
1st and 10, Dixie from its own 20-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Avery Anderson on the left hip of Bronson Barbin. The snap, and he's got plenty of time looking downfield, steps up and fires left side, just incomplete off the fingertips of his intended receiver.
That was Josh Barney who had to dive low for that one. The ball was kind of low and inside. could have been intercepted. Barbin's pretty lucky with that one.
Barbin starts 3 of 4 for 32 yards.
Right back to the quarterback.
Second down and 10. Beautiful evening. 66 degrees at kickoff tonight, and almost the last day of October. Barbin fakes the handoff, then throws out left side flat, caught by Avery Anderson, and he lowers the helmet and picks up a first down.
I think that may have been Shea Anderson. So hard to tell.
You're right, it is Shea.
Their numbers are 3 and 4. I think that was Shea Anderson who does most of the receiving. Avery Anderson kind of the carry back.
So to the 31, that's 11 yards and a first down. To the 31-yard line. Anderson in motion, fake the handoff to Shea, give to Avery. He leaps over one defender, and a flag flies in as the Reds bring him down about the 33.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the flag is there. It did come from the white hat in the backfield.
In high school, it's a penalty against the offensive player if he tries to hurdle a defender. I wonder if, nope, a hold. It wasn't a big hurdle, but it looked like he leapt over somebody.
He did jump, yep. As soon as you leave your feet to hurdle a tackler, it is a penalty on you, just trying to protect the players.
So they'll spot this all the way back at the 20 on the hold for a first down and 21. No score, first quarter, 7:25 left to play. Barbin in the shotgun again, looking left, throws, and caught on the sideline. Is that Barney?
Was Barney. Yeah, they're kind of doing exactly what we said, keeping everything in front of them. They had 4 deep guys on that one, all receivers staying in front of the 4 deep DBs. So we'll see how that works for this Cedar Reds as the game goes on, because Dixie kind of just chipping away now, taking everything underneath.
That was 15 yards to the 35. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Barbin back, looking left, gives a ball fake, and pressure comes. He goes down back at the 26.
I believe that was Trey Payne again in the backfield. Already 2 sacks in this first quarter.
So to the 26, that's a loss of 9. Cedar came in, I think, with 27 sacks on the season. And as you mentioned, that's already 2 tonight.
Yeah, that one's almost a little bit of a coverage sack. Barney had a decent amount of time, could have got the ball away, but Cedar's DB's doing a nice job keeping the receivers in front of them, like we said. Gives the D-line time to get to the quarterback.
3rd and 15. Barbin from the shotgun. Quick throw out to the left. Barney catches on the sideline and doesn't have much room. Goes down after a short gain to the 29.
All right, so battle of the defenses right now.
Cedar, Dixie was really moving the ball on that first drive.
Yeah.
The turnover stopped him, obviously.
Yeah.
Penalty stops them on this drive, plus the Cedar D. So Dixie set to punt this one away. I believe that's Josh Barney to boot it from his own 15. Just gets it off. Cedar had good pressure. It's a high punt and takes a Cedar bounce back near midfield. Cedar will start again at right around the 50.
About where they got the ball last time.
1st and 10 for the Reds.
First quarter, 5:49 to play, no score here at Cedar High in the second round of the playoffs.
We'd like to mention some of our platinum sponsors: Cedarview Pediatric Dentistry, Color Country Pediatrics, and
other games tonight, some big ones going on. A couple other Region 9 teams in action. Garrett takes the snap. Brinkerhoff up the middle, big hole, lowers the shoulder, runs over a flyer to the 35-30. Finally stood up and brought down at the 29.
Massive gain there for Seth Brinkerhoff. Beautiful blocking by the line. Could have drove a truck through that hole.
1st and 10 Reds.
It's a 20-yard gain for Brinkerhoff. His first carry went for 0. Actually, 22, wasn't it? They were just on their own side of the 50. First down at the Dixie 29. Ball on the left hash, 2-back set, 2 receivers left side. That's the short side of the field. Torres in motion left to right, and Garrett fakes the handoff to Torres, keeps it himself to the 25. Flyers wrap him up and bring him down there.
A beautiful read there by Garrett on that jet sweep. The DN came all the way up the field to tackle that jet. Garrett pulls it, turns it into a nice 5-yard gain.
Garrett had about 121 rushing yards at Dixie, plus 204 passing yards in that loss. That was September 17th. 325 yards of offense for Garrett. He'll be big tonight. He'll need to if the Reds want to win.
I do remember that, actually. I remember thinking in the first half, man, he ran the ball a lot. He got hit a lot of times there in that first half, so we'll see what happens here.
2 receivers left again, ball in the middle of the field for 2nd and 5. Garrett back to throw, looking left, slings it out to Brinkerhoff in the flat. He's got blockers and gets down to the 20, has a first down, a little bit more, close to the 17.
Yeah, just a nice little, technically kind of like a check down. Brinkerhoff standing next to Garrett in the backfield and then just bows out to the left. Garrett hits him in stride, and Colby White, a great blocker out at the wide receiver position. They've scored multiple touchdowns from Colby White's blocks, so another important block there for Colby White.
1st and 10, Reds at the 17 of Dixie. 4:03 left first quarter. Garrett takes the snap, gives to White, breaks a tackle, 15 to the 10. On his feet, still down inside the 5 to the 3.
Brian White, the other running back in that 2-back set, loves to just put his head down and get after it. Not a very fancy runner. Kind of just tell him where to go, and he'll put his head down and get there.
He made an adjustment right at the line, just kind of sidestepped one would-be tackler, and that freed him up for the 14-yard gain. 1st and goal at the 3. 3-back set this time. Garrett under center, takes the snap, misdirection, give to White, diving to the 1, maybe the 2, and a flag flies in as well.
Carried by Ben Ellis. Down to the 1-yard line.
Ben Ellis on that carry in their power back set. They bring in Ben Ellis, Brian White, and Seth Brinkerhoff into that power back set. Let them all lead for each other, try and score here down on the goal line. Penalty was a face mask against Dixie, so that'll be half the distance to the goal, bring up another first down about from the 3-yard line.
Fresh set of downs as well, 1st and goal. Garrett takes the snap and just plants his feet, drives forward, and he's in. Touchdown, Reds.
In their second offensive possession, Cedar's able to get the ball all the way into the end zone on the ground, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be a battle of the quarterbacks through the air, but they keep it on the ground. Seth Brinkerhoff with a nice big run to get things going. Brian White with a run, and then Garrett finishing it off with the quarterback sneak.
Reds lined up to attempt the extra point. Hernandez kicks it up and through, and Cedar leads 7-0 on Thunder 91.
3:23 left here in this first quarter. Just a 7-0 lead for the Reds. They strike first.
That drive, 5 plays, 2 minutes, 26 seconds. Extra point good, and Cedar leads 7-0 in this first quarter, presented by Ogden's Flooring and Design. Ogden's welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. Ogden's happy to present this athletic event. So Cedar's gotten good field position, 2 drives that have started right around midfield. They took advantage the second time.
Yeah, we'll see what Hernandez does on this kickoff. Remember, his last one did go short. See if he can get a hold of it this time.
He does. More of a line drive, but fielded no drop down at the 2. Happy bounce for Dixie, and it's right back into the hands of the return man, but he only gets out to about the 17 before the Reds bring him down. And a couple Flyers went down hard and are slow to get up.
That is twice. They have kicked the ball out to Bo McGivern, a senior return man, and he has fumbled it twice. Well, not fumbled it, but muffed the kickoff twice. And I believe he is the one down and in pain. We'll let you know more about this injury update as both trainers head out onto the field.
Reds lead 7-0 on Thunder 91. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. $5 Pizza now has 2 locations in Cedar City. $5 offers pizza in 8-inch to 16-inch sizes. And in addition to the 30-inch Beast, they also have cinnamon bread, cheese bread, and chicken wings. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery, too. $5 Pizza located at 1390 South Providence Center and now on North Main Street as well. $5 Pizza, happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. A round of applause from the fans here at Cedar High as the Dixie Flyers return man was down for quite a while.
Yeah, Bo McGivern, he's still slow to get off. I assume it's concussion based on the way he's walking and the way the trainers are holding him. Lower extremities look good, but that was a scary one. They didn't turn him over for a while, feeling his legs and whatnot to see if he could feel him. So we hope that Bo McGivern is all right.
1st and 10, Dixie. Cedar leads 7-0, 3:16 left, first quarter. Reds have had great field position on 2 possessions, a 3-and-out punt, and then a 5-play, 51-yard drive that put 7 points on the board. Barbin in the shotgun, ball on the 16-yard line. Dixie on the right hash, 2 receivers right, 2 out left. Barbin looks right, then throws left. He's hit hard. The ball, the pass incomplete. Anderson just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Peyton Murray in the backfield again. Sure we'll be calling his name often tonight. Delivered a big hit on Barbin. Saw it all the way through to the ground. I'm sure he's trying to send a message there. Letting him know, hey, I'm going to be here all night.
2nd down and 10. Barbin again from the shotgun. Avery Anderson, the senior running back, on his left hip. Shea Anderson, the slot back, on the left side. Barbin looking down the middle of the field, turns, throws left side, and picked off! The Reds have it. Cook goes over the top of Anderson and gets that high pass.
Jack Cook with an unreal play on defense. Getting up, ball came across the middle of the field. Jack Cook said, I'm going to take that one. Unreal athletic play there by Jack Cook, going up over the top. Like you said, Anderson boys are very, very fast, but not so gifted in the height department. Jack Cook went up over the top that time.
Cedar with great field position again at the Dixie 37 this time. 3:05 left, first quarter. Garrett from the shotgun. Reds lead 7-0. Reds attacking south to north from our view. That's right to left here at Cedar High. Garrett looking to the sideline, gets the call. Double back set again, takes the snap and fakes the handoff to White, pitches out to Brinkerhoff, and he drags a flyer forward inside the 35 to the 32.
Yeah, beautiful triple option there by the Reds. Pretty simple, fake the handoff to White, or not fake it, read the handoff to White. The DN goes with him, you pull it, and then when the outside linebacker comes up, he has to make a decision between the quarterback, Garrett, or the outback, which that time was Brinkerhoff. And he decides to go to Garrett, pitches the ball out to Brinkerhoff. Brinkerhoff turns it into a nice 5-yard gain.
2nd and 5. 2 receivers left, Torres and Colby White. Garrett in the shotgun. Again, the double back set. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Pressure coming. He flushes to his left, gets a big pancake block, runs right side, and gets close to a first down, but a bit short.
Again, good coverage down the field by these Dixie defensive backs. That's twice now that Garrett has had all day to throw, but just didn't have anybody to deliver the ball to.
28-yard line will be 3rd down and 1.
A 4-yard gain puts Garrett at 3 carries for 10 yards. Hard count. A lot of movement from the Dixie line, but none of them into the neutral zone for 3rd and 1.
Looks like the backers are going to be blitzing, so Garrett looks over to the sideline, maybe get a change of call.
Cool breeze comes in as the sun starts to set. Garrett takes the snap. Quick throw left side. Torres catch at the 20. Makes a move. Broke a tackle. Slips down at the 15, but he does have the first down. Excuse me, to the 24. I said the 15, but the 24.
1st and 10 Reds.
Yeah, just a simple little screen there, essentially by the Reds. Saw the linebackers coming, said, all right, we'll just throw it outside to our playmaker, let him make a man miss, and he does, gets enough for the first down.
That's relying on Torres to make a man miss, to move the chains, and he got the job done. Torres in motion, receives the handoff, and has to make a man miss again. Cuts it back to the left side. Garrett becomes a blocker to the 25 and to the 20. A collision between Torres and that Dixie defender.
Yeah, big hit there by Keelan Washington, this near side defensive back who's done a nice job on Colby White tonight thus far. Comes up and delivers a massive hit there on Braxton Torres.
4-yard gain, 2nd and 6. Jack Cook wide right. He's the man that picked off that last pass by Bronson Barbin of Dixie. 2 receivers left on the short side of the field. Cedar taking its time. Leading 7-0, under 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Garrett from the shotgun. Good snap, back to throw, pressure comes. Can he get away from it? Nope, he's spun down and around at the 28.
Yeah, nice pressure there by Jonathan Callister. Simple little blitz just right up the middle, just brought one linebacker, but nobody was able to get to him. Interested in that 2-back set. I didn't see what happened, but I'm sure that one of those running backs is designed to stay in and block, but Callister able to get all the way into the backfield and bring down Garrett, and that'll do it for the first quarter. 7-0, Dixie with 2 turnovers. Cedar working on capitalizing on their second turnover.
Cedar leads 7-0 on Thunder 91. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. Brad's Food Hut is happy to present this broadcast. Brad's is a traditional fixture in Cedar City and features the Bronco Burger, fish and chips, grilled cheese, and grilled turkey sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, shakes, and of course, soft drinks. Brad's is located on North Main Street in Cedar City. 3rd down and 14 upcoming. Cedar leads 7-0, has the football at the Dixie 28. But a sack on that last play puts Cedar in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, again, nice pressure there by Callister. A good blitz call by Dixie. Interesting that Cedar's kind of gone away from the run on this possession. You know, they've dropped back a couple more times, but, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, let Brinkerhoff do what he does and let him get some yards.
From the shotgun, Garrett with 2 backs in the backfield. Double play action, then tosses down the field. He's got Brian White all alone at the 10-5. Touchdown, Reds!
A beautiful play design there by Bennett and Blake. Play call. Truly just a beautiful thing. Dixie brought both linebackers. So when Brian White faked the handoff, he just leaked out into the middle of the field. Both linebackers came on the blitz. Jaron Garrett able to do a great job of tossing it up over the top, and Brian White had nothing but green in front of him.
28-yard touchdown pass and catch. Hernandez kick is up and good, and the Reds lead 14-0.
Dixie 0.
Yeah, that's a beautiful play design there. Right time for that play call. I don't think it was a design screen, but it almost ended up like one based on the fact that both of the middle linebackers came up the field. Garrett nearly got sacked. He just did just enough, had just enough time to get that ball away, and like I said, Brian White had nothing but green in front of him.
second quarter, 11:53 left to play. So that Reds drive, 6 plays, 63 yards, goes 3 minutes and 12 seconds. PAT good. Reds lead 14-0. Dixie to receive this kickoff, and I don't see, who was it? Bo McGivern not out there.
Bo McGivern not on the field to return this kick, although he did muff the 2 kicks before, so we'll see if Dixie can get a nice return. I don't even know if they've been into Cedar territory yet. Had a nice drive on the first drive, but then turned it over.
Hernandez low line drive kick, bounces and gets fielded about the 25. Out to the right side, and not a ton of room. The Reds bring him down about the 29.
Yeah, that wasn't the deepest line of Dixie's kick return, so a short, almost a squib kick, not intentional, but squib kick that ended up in Braden Wilson's hands, and he gives Dixie their best field position tonight.
They got right near midfield on that first possession before turning it over on the fumble.
Before they fumbled.
But you're right, they have not been into Cedar territory yet on 3 possessions. This is their 4th. They ended the first with a fumble, a punt on the second, and then an interception on their 3rd possession. Barban's 8th interception of the season. He's in the shotgun. Pistol behind him with Anderson. Turn and give to Anderson. Broken tackle in the backfield. Cuts up across the 30, near the 35 before the Reds bring him down.
Here's to Avery Anderson.
Yeah, that's kind of going to be the flow of their offense is every time you give the ball to Avery Anderson, you're going to say, avoids one tackler, and then if Cedar can get guys going at him, he'll get brought down. But if Cedar doesn't gang tackle on these Anderson boys, they'll make you pay.
Anderson averages 5 yards per carry, just better than that actually. He picks up 5 yards, brings up a 2nd and 5. 2-back set for Dixie, a fullback on the left side in a shotgun. Give to Anderson. Avery starts up the middle, nowhere to go, and bounces right side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, great defense there by Cedar that time. Everybody did their job. Got ganged up on at the line of scrimmage and brought down. I think you got to trust your quarterback. You know, let Barban get into a rhythm. Let him start throwing the ball. That's when they've been most effective here in this first half. I know he just threw an interception, but you got to trust the man who's throwing for 2,500 yards. You know,
right.
You got to let him do his thing. Let him get in a rhythm.
18 touchdowns this season to now 8 interceptions. 3rd down and 5. Barban in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Back to throw. Pressure comes. He steps up and fires over the middle. Caught at the 50 and into Cedar territory to the 46.
Yeah, that's a nice snag there by Easton Ellett. Right across the middle. I think Barban had a little too much time. Cedar dropped all but 4 of their guys, and Easton Ellett came streaking across the middle. Barban delivered a hard throw. He's able to bring it down for the first down.
To the 46 of Cedar. Barban back, sets up the screen, caught, and Avery Anderson, as he came down, lost his balance, dove forward for a gain of 2 or 3.
Another screen pass there, but like you said, Avery Anderson unable to keep his feet and turn it into something more, which is kind of unfortunate because he had blockers out in front of him. Could have been a big gain. Peyton Murray with another hit on Barban on that screen pass. So that's 2 already big hits on Barban from Murray.
2nd down, 7. 2 receivers left are twins. The snap comes early. Barban not ready for it. Picks it up and is immediately brought down. Ben Ellis in the backfield.
Barban wasn't watching. Barban was trying to get Shea Anderson to come in motion, and the center snapped the ball. So that'll be a loss of, luckily, just about 1. Luckily, Barban was able to get on top of it, but could have been a disaster there for the Flyers. Ball been on the ground far too many times already for this Dixie team.
Cedar just has come out with more emotion, more fired up, and more sharp. 14-0 Reds with just over 9 minutes left in this first half, 3rd and 11. Barban back to throw, pressure coming. He steps up again, and he is sandwiched and finally brought down. That pressure from the Cedar Reds.
That was Brian White getting it done on both sides of the ball. Really, it was all the defensive linemen kind of forced him into a sandwich. Brian White came down with him, but, man, I 100% agree with you. Cedar's coming out just like they want it more, and I think the execution has been a very important part of what's taking place here in this ballgame. Dixie just not executing. You know, I'm sure that their game plan is fine, it being the 2nd time these teams have faced each other, but you just got to execute. You got to eliminate the negative plays. Already been sacked 3 times tonight.
4th Plus that poor snap,
Yes.
I think goes in the books as
dear.
a poor snap on the punt, and a pretty good punt gotten off after, and then a Dixie roll all the way to the Cedar 15. Let's give some love to Josh Barney.
That was incredible. That ball was probably 10 feet above his head by the time it got to him. He was able to snag it with one hand and then deliver a boot, nice line drive, and it took a great Dixie bounce all the way down to the 10-yard line, like you said. So now we'll see if Cedar's offense really can sustain something. Definitely by far the worst field position they've had tonight. We'll see if they can do it for 90 yards instead of 40.
They've started from right at the 50, or right near the 50 twice, and then the Dixie 37. So a longer field than Dixie, as you said, has been looking at, or Cedar's been looking at tonight. Garrett from the shotgun, looking left, looks right, fakes the throw, heaves it deep down for Jack Cook. He has to stop and come back, almost makes the catch between two Dixie Flyers defender, but incomplete.
Yeah, that ball was just underthrown. It was a double move, a little curl and go for Jack Cook. Burnt his man, had about a step and a half on him, and Garrett just underthrew him. He's got to air that one out to Cook.
Free safety, looked like he might have was getting there in time as well.
Yeah.
Again, the two-back set in the shotgun. Jaron Garrett, Reds offense looking to the sideline to get the play. 14-0 Cedar, 8:06 left, first half. White to Garrett's right. Brinkerhoff to his left side. One receiver left, two wide right. Ball in the left hash for 2nd and 10. Fake to White, give to Brinkerhoff. Not much room in the backfield, but he squirts through and broke a tackle or two out to the 18 or 19.
Yeah, that one, not a lot of room there for Brinkerhoff on that misdirection. Fake to Brian White and then give to Brinkerhoff going down the other side. And yeah, like you said, not a lot there. Brinkerhoff kind of just fell forward and able to turn it into a gain.
So a 3-yard gain for Brinkerhoff puts him at 4 carries for 30 yards. 3rd and 7. Again, Reds leading 14-0, 7.5 left to play first quarter. Two receivers left as Garrett takes the snap, swings it out left side to Brinkerhoff. Catch is made. He's got to block to the 30 or the 20, all the way down the sideline to the 30 before he's hit out of bounds. First down and more.
Able to get the edge, which turned it into a big game. Looked like Dixie was going to string him all the way out to the sticks. And then Brinkerhoff turned it upfield. Got the edge on Dixie, turns it into a first down.
Brinkerhoff came in with just 3 receptions on the season, but they were for 51 yards. That's 17 yards per catch. He's been a dangerous pass catcher, but on such a limited basis. Not surprised to see that 11-yard gain and a first down. Ball in the left hash, the snap, and give to Brinkerhoff. Taking his time, looking for the hole that doesn't open up, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the hole was never there. He was being good, being patient with it, but tried to bounce it outside, and it just never got there.
So Reds face a 2nd down and 10. They'd be content to eat up even if they don't score, to eat up 5 or 6 minutes here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do agree with you. They can definitely eat up some clock, but I know playing this Dixie High team, you know, who have a lot of playmakers, and like we said, scored on big plays, you got to keep your foot on the gas pedal.
2nd down and 10. Garrett, quick throw out to the left side. Colby White, the catch down the sideline, hit and dropped at the 35, a gain of 5.
I was actually going to comment on that when we got to the half, or when I had a second, but yeah, I'm scared that they're going to take their foot off the gas pedal and allow Dixie to fight their way back into this ball game. I think you got to keep taking the deep shots, keep doing what you're doing, and definitely try and run this score up even further.
Torres and Charles Cook wide right. 2-back set. Garrett in the shotgun for 3rd and 5. Ball in the left hash. Takes a snap and drops back to throw. Directing traffic with his left hand, steps forward, then gets away from pressure, runs out to his right, finds some room, throws downfield. He's got Colby White on the sideline at the Dixie 38, caught out of bounds.
Great play there by Colby White and Jaron Garrett, able to extend that play for an excruciating amount of time. I think Garrett just had the ball for about 15 seconds on that play, running around all kinds of defensive linemen. Colby White always does a great job getting back to his quarterback, making himself available when Garrett gets out into scramble situations like that.
28 yards and a first down to Colby White. who's wide left for this play. 1st and 10 at the Dixie 37.
1 foot bounds for high school or 2.
White in motion, coming to the near side. Fake the handoff there. Garrett keeps it himself. Wanted to go outside, nothing there. Dives into the middle of the line and picks up a yard or two as a flag flies in. Garrett goes down about the 36.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to say about Colby White making himself available to a scrambling quarterback, it's Pat Mahomes is definitely a unreal talent, but give a lot of credit to his wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, some of the best in the business at making themselves available when Patrick Mahomes becomes a running quarterback. So wide receivers being able to get back to their quarterbacks and making themselves available is always huge in winning ball games.
Oh yeah, that's the difference between a short running gain or a long passing gain like we just saw.
Yep.
5 yards on an inadvertent face mask. Cedar has a 1st and 4. Garrett fakes the throw, looking deep, nothing there, then throws back across the right side out of bounds over the head of Cook.
Yeah, that one just slipped right out of his hands. I watched it right as it came off. Stayed too high in the air, sailed over Jack Cook's head.
But with the penalty, it's 2nd down and 4. 5:24 left second quarter. Reds lead 14-0. It's just a notification from my computer there. No worries. One receiver left. That's Colby White. Charles Cook right side, or Jack Cook rather, the snap and the option. Garrett fakes the pitch, then dives up the middle and picks up 3 or 4. No, maybe 5. 1st down at the 25.
I think he may have got the 1st down. Again, it's that triple option play out of the 2-back set. Fake to one running back. The other running back becomes your pitch man. Garrett had pitched it on the last 2 plays in the triple option. That time fakes the pitch, turns upfield, gets the 1st down.
So a 1st and 10. Cedar Reds marching. They started this drive at their own 16. At the 25 now of Dixie. Garrett takes the snap, looks to his left, and swings it out to Bright. He makes the catch backhanded and immediately leveled.
Yeah. One of those rare arid throws from Garrett on, I guess I should say, on the short passes. Usually right on the money on those swing routes. But that time, Brian White had to reach clear behind him and then was hit immediately. Honestly, even if it's a good throw, I don't know if he has that much room. Dixie did a nice job defending that one. Brings up a long 2nd down.
Loss of 6, so 2nd and 16. The Reds, again, taking their time. Want to eat up that clock and put more points on the board. 1 wide left, 1 wide right, 2 in the backfield. Garrett in the shotgun takes the snap and gives to Brinkerhoff.
Oh.
Nothing. Boy, he's brought down clear back at the 35. He was eaten up.
Yeah, another big loss. Garrett came over to the sideline and had some words for somebody. I'm not sure if it was the official or one of the coaches. Looked like it may have been one of the coaches, but now we got a 3rd and 20, and Bennett's going to take a timeout. Want to get some points on the board after this drive. They're almost out of field goal range now. In fact, they probably are.
Would be a 40, 52-yard field goal?
Yeah, definitely out of field goal range for the high school level. So Bennett will take a timeout, see if he can get his team back in field goal range or even maybe a 1st down.
Reds lead 14-0 in the Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug 2nd quarter on Thunder 91. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. Reds got down to the 25 of Dixie, but they've gone for -10 on the last 2 plays. 3rd and 20. 3:51 left, 1st half. Cedar leads 14-0 here on Thunder 91. Two receivers right, one wide left. Garrett from the shotgun. Back to throw, deep down the middle, looking for Torres and stepping in front to pick it off at the 20. Outside the left side, and a big return to the 50. Breaks free. Garrett may have a chance to catch him, and that's it. Flags fly, though, as Garrett does make the tackle at the Cedar 35.
That was Carson Greer with a massive, massive momentum play for Dixie. Like you said, 2 flags down, but they came after the interception, so I believe the interception will stand. It's going to be a little bit off of the return, though. But Carson Greer playing that safety position, like we said, we called his name before. He's about 6'5", 6'6", and just jumped right in front of that route. It's a very hard route to throw. It was a seam right up the middle, so your slot back starts in his position just right of the right tackle, and then he will run kind of straight and then fade either inside or outside depending on what the safety does. But that time Carson Greer got the best of Jaron Garrett, and he tried to throw the ball over the top of him, and Carson Greer said, not today.
So the penalty marker was a personal foul against Dixie and pushes them all the way back to their own 46. That's effectively about a 40-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I believe it was a blindside block, and that's always hard on returns like that to block your guy looking at him.
Play action. Barbin throws, and a diving catch. What a grab by, is that Anderson?
I think that might have been Easton Ellett.
Ah.
I think he landed on the ball, got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, you're right. It's not Anderson. I see both of them standing.
Yeah, it's
Easton Ellett.
Easton Ellett across the middle with a great grab, but he pulled it in and then landed on the, or no, maybe he's holding his shoulder, I think, on the catch. He had to extend both arms and then landed on his arm as it was extended. So Ellett will come off the field. That one is pretty important. He's definitely a big part of this offense as far as catching passes and taking the the jet sweeps.
3:20 left, second quarter. Second down and 1 after that 9-yard gain. Barbin brings Anderson in motion and hands him the football around the right side, and he is held up and then brought down in the backfield.
Oh, you don't see that too often. That was Anderson taking off around the outside, and he actually ended up running into his own blocker because he was so fast. That was the tight end who was trying to push out that block, and he ended up running into his own tight end because he was just so fast.
3rd and 2, Barbin back to throw, sets up the screen and tosses to Anderson. Avery has the first down, a little bit more inside the Cedar 40.
First down, Flyers.
Well, the screenplay is working, but at what cost? Barbin's slow to get up on that one after being hit by Peyton Murray again in the backfield.
8 yards and a first down. Barbin again from the shotgun. Flag flies in as the pass intended for the left side, and Barney is deflected at the line to the turf.
I believe that was a false start, but usually they'll blow the play dead if it's a false start, so we'll see what this call is. Maybe an offsides.
Officials confer, and Whitecap official comes over and talks with the Cedar sideline, maybe asking, do you want 1st and 15 or a decline at 2nd and 10?
Penalty's illegal procedure called on Dixie. That is a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be.
I don't know what I'd do in that situation as a coach. If I'm playing a team like Dixie, I think I might just take the down. They can get yards in bunches, so I think I'd rather give them less chances to get yards on me.
2:30. Go ahead.
Sorry. They accept the penalty, brings up a 1st and 15 here for the Flyers.
2:32 left, second quarter. Cedar leading 14-0. Barbin from the shotgun. At midfield, pressured out to his right. More pressure comes, and then he's brought down clear back at the Dixie 45.
Take down Barbin in the backfield for a sack.
Man, Trayton Payne is having one of those games where everything is going his way. And I mean, obviously give him a lot of credit because he's doing a great job getting into the backfield, beating his man off the line. And that is his 3rd sack of the ball game.
And 29 yards in losses on sacks. Barban heaving deep down the middle of the field. He's got Barney incomplete, just overthrown.
Yeah, that was Connor Hardman who was in coverage that time deep down the field for the Reds. And great coverage there by Hardman. Would have been a great catch and throw had they completed it, but no good, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 24-ish.
It's just the 3rd incompletion of the game for Barban on 14 attempts. 3rd and 25. Barban from the shotgun. Looking, has time, pressure comes, he's wrapped up from the side, and he will go down. It takes a minute, but the Reds get him.
Yeah, Payne will be credited for probably half of that sack. He's having an unreal game, and he is absolutely destroying this Dixie offensive line. Wow, what a problem he's being.
I only keep my stat sheet has spots for 6 sacks. We're there, Parker. I'm out of room now. That's how well the Cedar defense has played so far. You don't usually see more than 2 or 3. Time running down. Just over a minute left in this first half. Barney boots it down the right sideline, takes a Dixie bounce all the way to the 10, to the 9, and Dixie downs it there with 1 minute left in the first half.
Inside the 10 of the 7-yard.
Yeah, I'd be surprised to see if Cedar tried to go the length of the field and score here. I would for sure. Like I said, I think you just got to keep your foot on the gas pedal and get more points on the board against this prolific Dixie offense. But we'll see what Cedar wants to do here.
You take the risk here because if you keep your foot on the gas here with just a minute to play, you run the risk of an interception and then Dixie getting a chance to score.
Yeah, and based on that last interception, I wouldn't be surprised if they run it a couple times here and just head into halftime with a 14-0 lead.
We'll see what Coach Josh Bennett wants to do. The snap and to give up the middle. Ball came loose, and Jaron Garrett falls back on it.
Yeah, well, Bennett maybe just wants to take 3 knees.
He might.
Apparently he can't hand it off without the ball being on the ground either.
Bennett, an SUU graduate in his 6th year coaching the Cedar Reds squad. You're going to have to run at least one more play on a 2nd and 11. Do you heave it, hope for something on a stop and go?
I would.
They give up the middle, and Brian White with a short gain out around the 10.
Yeah, that'll do it for the half. Bennett doesn't want to risk anything.
The way his defense is playing.
Yeah, why not?
It'll be 3rd down.
A little bit surprised Dixie didn't take some timeouts, try and stop the clock. The prolific offense that they have, they probably could have went 3 and out and then had a shot at scoring again. But that'll do it for the first half here in Cedar City. Cedar Reds up 14-0 on the Dixie Flyers here in the 2nd round of the UHSAA 4A state playoffs.
Halftime show coming up, brought to you by Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug on Thunder 91. The Reds lead 14-0. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. $5 Pizza now has 2 locations in Cedar City. $5 offers pizza in 8-inch to 16-inch sizes. And in addition to the 30-inch Beast, they also have cinnamon bread, cheese bread, and chicken wings. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery, too. $5 Pizza located at 1390 South Providence Center and now on North Main Street as well. $5 Pizza, happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools. Hermes Drive-In is happy to sponsor youth activities in our area. They are located just north of the City Park on Main Street. Hermes features burgers, shakes, fries, and soft drinks, and a variety of other items, including scones. Hermes Drive-In, 294 North Main Street, Cedar City. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. Brad's Food Hut is happy to present this broadcast. Brad's is a traditional fixture in Cedar City and features the Bronco Burger, fish and chips, grilled cheese, and grilled turkey sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, shakes, and of course, soft drinks. Brad's is located on North Main Street in Cedar City. 14-0 at the half, brought to you by Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off of Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. And each can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service is available, or you can stop inside the pharmacy. So far, boy, I've got the stat line for at least the stats that I've kept in that first half. I'll tell you in a second. But the story, I think, Cedar's defense. They forced 2 turnovers. They've set up their offense with excellent field position, and they have sacked Bronson Barbin 5 times, plus a 6th time that was just a snap he wasn't ready for.
Yeah, it's been 100%. It's been the defense. The only reason that they have 14 points on the board is because their defense has given them such great field position, right? They had the ball one time over 60 yards away, and they went 3 and out, I think. It's been 100% all on Cedar's defense. They've done a nice job containing the Anderson twins, right? So it's as soon as they can get in space, they can kill you. So all you have to do is keep them bottled up inside of you, and they're relatively ineffective. They've done a few good things here and there, but they're relatively going to be ineffective as long as you can keep them bottled up. But I just want to give a huge shout out to Trayton Payne. The defensive end for this Cedar Reds team has been non-stop. From the very first snap, he has been blowing these offensive tackles up off the line, left and right. I think he's probably credited for 3 sacks. He's had two solos, and then I think they're going to give him half a sack on 2 others. And he's been a huge problem. And it's gonna come down to either Dixie's going to figure out how to execute, and things are going to start rolling their way, or it could get nasty the way that Cedar's defense is playing.
I feel like a sack is sometimes can be underappreciated or undervalued at times, and it's almost like I don't know. I'd compare it to a 3-point basket, but that's not as big of a deal in basketball anymore. But a sack is such a momentum changer or builder, and on top of getting the crowd into things for your defense, a sack pushes that team back, and we see that Dixie has minus 25 rushing yards in that first half, negative 25 rushing yards, and that's all because of 5 sacks. Minus 32 yards for Bronson Barbin.
Yeah. So sacks count as rushing yards, which is why it's negative 25. But it's been incredible the amount of pressure that Cedar has been able to create in the backfield. And what's even more crazy is that they're doing it with just their defensive linemen. They're not blitzing that often. Usually they get pressure by blitzing Peyton Murray and blitzing Ben Ellis, but it's been relatively just their defensive line. So, a big first half from this Cedar High defense, and it's been fun to watch.
If we were to think about the Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy player of the game halfway through, who's your pick, right?
I'd have to give it to Trayton Payne. He's done incredible things, along with a few other tackles. I mean, he's been incredibly disruptive. He's done a lot of good things. And I also cannot forget the 2 turnovers. That's huge. Dixie's got to hold on to the ball, and you just can't give the ball up. That pick by Jack Cook was a huge momentum builder. Cedar able to score off of that one, and then the first series fumble, Cedar went 3 and out on it. But I mean, still 2-0 on turnovers, and kind of a different story than last game.
of our girls cross country.
I've got
team
some
that's
stats
academic
for you,
All-State
unofficial
recipients.
stats that we've
Mikhail
kept as this
Corey,
game has
Leah
been
DePaul,
broadcasted here on Thunder 91.
and
We'll have those for you
Gilbert.
in a moment when we return on the Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug halftime report.
boys
Cedar leads
cross-country team
14-0 over the number 8 seed, or the number 9 seed, Dixie Flyers. We'll be right back.
8 cross.
Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Brad's Food Hut is happy to present this broadcast. Brad's is a traditional fixture in Cedar City and features the Bronco Burger, fish and chips, grilled cheese, and grilled turkey sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, shakes, and of course, soft drinks. Brad's is located on North Main Street in Cedar City. $5 Pizza now has 2 locations in Cedar City. $5 offers pizza in 8-inch to 16-inch sizes. And in addition to the 30-inch Beast, they also have cinnamon bread, cheese bread, and chicken wings. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery too. $5 Pizza located at 1390 South Providence Center and now on North Main Street as well. $5 Pizza, happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. Hermes Drive-In is happy to sponsor youth activities in our area. They are located just north of the City Park on Main Street. Hermes features burgers, shakes, fries, and soft drinks, and a variety of other items, including scones. Hermes Drive-In, 294 North Main Street, Cedar City. This is the halftime report brought to you by Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug. They have curbside service available, or you can stop inside the pharmacy. Both can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Cedar got the ball first. They went 3 and out, Dixie got the ball first. They got to midfield before fumbling. Cedar then went 3 and out. Then a Dixie punt led to Cedar's first drive that ended in a touchdown. They got great field position near the midfield, and a few plays later, Jaron Garrett took it in himself on the quarterback keeper for the 6 points. On Dixie's next possession, Jack Cook intercepted the first pass attempt from Bronson Barban on that drive and put Cedar in good field position at the Dixie 37. They took advantage, and a few plays later, Brian White caught a pass from Garrett, 28 yards for the score, 14-0. Cedar turned it over once. Both teams punted a couple times in that first half, but we saw, Parker, at Dixie, Cedar lost in big part because of turnovers. So far in this first half, Cedar's leading in big part because of turnovers.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on is as boring as it is to commentate and talk about, it's the same thing that we've been saying. Turnovers really dictate the ball game. When you have the ball more times, you have more opportunities to score, and then you obviously have more opportunities to win. And Cedar's done a nice job of creating opportunity. Cedar's defense, I should say, has done a nice job creating opportunities for their offense to score, and that's really been the story of the game. Is a huge part is that negative 28 or 23 rushing yards that Dixie has. It's massive. You can't say enough about it.
Jaron Garrett had just 2 incompletions in that first half. One of those, not actually an incompletion, intercepted by Dixie. So he goes 8 of 10 for 79 yards in the first half with the pick, plus a 28-yard touchdown pass. Leading rusher in the game is Seth Brinkerhoff. 6 carries, 26 yards. Neither team has done much on the ground. I've got Cedar with 135 yards of offense, 79 through the air, 56 on the ground. As for Dixie, 97 through the air, but negative 25 on the ground for a total of 72 yards of offense. in the first half. Bronson Barban, 10 of 14, 97 yards with a pick. And they've gotten nothing really on the ground. Avery Anderson, the leading ball carrier, with 5 yards on 2 carries for the Flyers.
Yeah, those are your stats kept by Ryan through that first half. I have a few Region 9 score updates for you guys. Skyview playing Desert Hills. Skyview up 42-12 with $1:20 left in that ball game. So looks like Desert Hills will lose and their season will be over. Snow Canyon is up 28-0 on Logan in the fourth quarter. So Snow Canyon will be advancing in the playoffs. And then Pineview and Crimson Cliffs. Pineview is 28, Crimson Cliffs 3. 4:30 left in that first half. So that game isn't quite over yet. Still a second half there to be played. And that does it for the Region 9 teams playing. And then, of course, here we have a 14-0 lead for the Reds.
You mentioned Crimson Cliffs, and as you know, it was sad to see Canyon View lose last week and their season come to an end. But it's also kind of exciting to see Crimson Cliffs win their first ever playoff game and advance to this week's game. Of course, you said they're losing to Pineview, so a tough loss tonight most likely. But got a playoff win under their belt.
Yeah, that one is a tough one, especially because I'm not exactly sure how the boundaries split up down there, but I do know that a lot of Pineview students ended up going to Crimson Cliffs. So a lot of Crimson Cliffs kids were Pineview students, and now they're losing to their old school. So that one is tough. But Crimson Cliffs definitely showing some promise. They got a young quarterback who is doing a lot of good things and really started playing really well there at the end of the season.
Yeah. $5 Pizza third quarter coming up in a moment. This is the Township Pharmacy and Bullock Drug halftime report on Thunder 91.
Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street, and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy. Hermes Drive-In is happy to sponsor youth activities in our area. They are located just north of the City Park on Main Street. Hermes features burgers, shakes, fries, and soft drinks, and a variety of other items, including scones. Hermes Drive-In, 294 North Main Street, Cedar City. Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. Brad's Food Hut is happy to present this broadcast. Brad's is a traditional fixture in Cedar City and features the Bronco Burger, fish and chips, grilled cheese, and grilled turkey sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, shakes, and of course, soft drinks. Brad's is located on North Main Street in Cedar City. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event. $5 Pizza now has 2 locations in Cedar City. $5 offers pizza in 8-inch to 16-inch sizes. And in addition to the 30-inch Beast, they also have cinnamon bread, cheese bread, and chicken wings. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery too. $5 Pizza located at 1390 South Providence Center and now on North Main Street as well. $5 Pizza, happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools.
Utah.
14-0 at the half. The Cedar Reds on top. They've taken advantage of some excellent field position. Plus, their defense has come up with 6 sacks in this football game. And Cedar on top, 14-0. You'll remember, though, when Cedar played at Dixie, they led 13-7 at the half. This was on September 17th. If we go back to that game, the Reds settled for 2 field goals in the second quarter. And so the Reds were up just 13-7 at the half and ended up losing as Dixie scored 17 points in the third quarter. Cedar scored just 6 in the fourth, had a chance late. They fell just short, and Dixie won that game 24-19. So this is certainly a Dixie team, and we talked about it, Parker, in the pregame show. They can score on big plays. They got some real quick and fast playmakers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to talk about. Was that first ball game, Cedar had 2 great opportunities to score a touchdown and were unable to do so. This time, a little bit of a different story. Most of the times that they've been in the red zone have been able to come away with 7. So, yeah, going to be a big story, but, yeah, I'm 100% on board with you. Did you just say Dixie scored 17 points in that third quarter?
In the third quarter.
Yeah, so, gonna be, I think Cedar has to 100% come out with the mindset of it's 0-0. We have to win this second half because, yeah, Dixie can score at a prolific pace and things can get out of hand. So,
on average, Cedar has scored almost 31 points per game in region play this season. Dixie just a little bit under that, 28.5. Dixie's defense has been about 5 points better than Cedar in region play. And we saw Dixie compete a lot better with Snow Canyon and Pineview than Cedar did. But Cedar had more dominant wins against the teams that are lower in the region, that didn't have as much success in the region, Hurricane, Canyon View, and Desert Hills. But either way, all those things aside, Cedar leads 14-0 here. You've been tuned in to the halftime show brought to you by Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy. Bullock Drug is at 91 North Main Street in Cedar, and Township Pharmacy 108 West, 1325 North in Cedar City. Happy to bring this broadcast your way. Cedar will receive to start this second half, Parker. How big is that?
That is big, and I actually at the end of that first half I forgot who got the ball first, but so now I agree more with the decision to just let the clock run out there at the end of the first half because you're getting the ball to start the second half anyway. So it is going to be big. I really want to see if Cedar can sustain this long drive with normal quote unquote field position.
So Dixie will kick right to left from our view. That's south to north. Renee Bernal, senior, number 45 rather, the kicker, with the left foot, and he boots it deep. 5 yards deep in the end zone, touchback.
So Cedar will have the ball on the 20 to start here in this second half. And, yeah, we'll see if Cedar can sustain something and get a big drive here going.
I see Brian White coming off the field after the kick return team was out there. So Cedar going empty set. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Garrett in the shotgun. Is Brinkerhoff out there?
Can't tell who that slot back is. I don't think he is.
It doesn't look like it.
Does not look like Brinkerhoff is on the field.
Trey Payne, the tight end, is that number 47?
Yeah.
On the right side, trips right, 2 receivers left. Garrett, quick throw, looking for Jack Cook, and he threw it behind him on a quick slant, incomplete.
Brings up second down.
Yeah, that was just trips right, twins left. Everybody run curls, and Garrett saw that middle linebacker there for Dixie sitting on that route, so threw it a little low and outside and ended up missing.
2nd and 10, same formation, 2 receivers left, 3 right. Cook in motion right to left, and Garrett hands it to Cook, left side. He has some blockers across the 25, near the 28.
Yeah, I love the patience shown there by Cook. Got out to the outside. Could have taken off at any moment, but wanted to let the play develop a little bit more, let his blockers get a little bit more out in front of him, and then turns it into a nice game.
Cook has averaged 10.5 yards per carry this season on limited carries. That's just his 4th carry of the year. But picks up 7, brings up a 3rd and 3. Again, empty backfield other than Garrett in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Snap, and Garrett fakes the handoff up the middle, keeps it himself. Plenty of room, bounces to the left sideline to the 40, 45 to the 50, and hit out of bounds at about the 45 of Dixie.
By Carson Greer.
So another element showing through that Garrett has that Barban doesn't. I'm not saying that Barban doesn't have it, but that they don't have him running. Is that zone read? That time it was a jet read going on this empty set, but the simple jet read, Garrett reads the linebackers, reads the D linemen, and then keeps it himself, turns it into a massive gain.
30 yards, a first down, and into Dixie territory. Ball near the left hash. Garrett back to throw. Pressure comes. He's flushed out to his right. Still looking to throw and just dumps it off over the middle. Jack Cook the catch at the 35. Breaks free at the 30 to the 25 out to the left sideline. Back across to the right side. Hit, breaks a tackle, follows his block to the end zone. Touchdown Reds!
Jack Cook, 33-yard touchdown.
Reds, go ahead, Parker.
Jack Cook probably covered about 80 yards there. It went from the right hash, clear around to the left sideline, and then back across, ended up at the right pylon, running around these Dixie defenders like they're just little children on the school ground. That was an awesome run there by Jack Cook. Extra point is up and in, and Cedar able to score on their first drive of this second half on a little dump off. Should have just been a simple little, 10-yard catch there for Jack Cook, but he's a playmaker, and he turns it into a touchdown here for the Reds.
Cook's 8th touchdown of the season, and you mentioned him just covering about 80 yards of ground, and hand it to all the guys downfield, receivers. Colby White, I think, was set this key block down about the 10-yard line that gave Cook that extra 10 yard, that rest of that 10 yards into the end zone.
Yeah, I mentioned Colby White's name about blocking downfield already. He does a very nice job of it. He's just a really great blocker, and to do it without penalty flags. No flags on that play. They just kept it clean. No blindside blocks, no holding. Jack Cook turns it into 6 points.
Hernandez kicks this one high and deep. Got a nice boot on it. Fielded at about the 4. Running to his left, 15 to the 20. Finds the left sideline. A flag flies in as he goes out of bounds about the 35.
Yeah, that was Kason Crandall, who has been on both of the big hits on the kick returns, who was down there once again, and Dixie defender just grabbed onto him and brought him to the ground. So that'll be a holding on Dixie, and they will start with even worse field position.
Mamau Tofi on the kick return. It ended up being a real nice return other than that hold penalty.
On the Dixie Flyers.
Here's another interesting stat. That's Dixie's 6th penalty, which is maybe a little higher than you want. How many penalties on Cedar, Parker?
0.
0. Unless I missed one.
I
don't have
think it's
any.
0. I really don't know if they've had one.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Did they have an No, the inadvertent face mask was on Dixie.
Right. 0 penalties. Dixie from its own 10.
Wow.
First down. Cedar leads 21-0. Barban brings Anderson in motion and fakes the handoff to him, gives instead to Avery Anderson, and Reds defenders flying all over. Anderson goes nowhere.
Yeah, Dixie wanted to keep it safe, wanted to just give the ball off to their speedy back and let him try and get them off their own 10-yard line, but Cedar's doing a great job bottling up these faster backs.
Under 10 minutes to play, third quarter. That last drive by Cedar, 1:37, 4 plays, 80 yards. And Hernandez Hinojosa kicked the extra point through. Reds lead 21-0. Barban from the shotgun looking left, quick out, and Barney makes the catch, steps out around the 30, or around the 20 rather.
Man, I don't know why they're going away from that. I don't know if they've had a negative play doing that. Run the outs, run the slants, run the curl routes. You have receivers who are able to catch the ball, and Barban is able to get it to them. The only time they've made mistakes is when they're trying to do too much on the screen routes, when they're trying to go long over the top. Just do what the defense is giving you, which is the underneath routes.
Yeah, and that is what Cedar's giving them. Cedar wants to avoid getting beat deep. Barban, same play, other side, and different receiver, caught for about 8 or 9.
Derek Kesterson.
It was Derek Kesterson on that catch. I believe he replaced Easton Ellett. Not sure if nope. I see Easton Ellett out there. So Kesterson with that snag.
Kesterson, that's his 21st catch of the season, 275 yards and a touchdown. So he's out there. He just doesn't get his number called as often as Barney or Ellett.
Yeah, it's usually coming to Barney on the other side.
2nd and 1. Barban back to throw. Looking deep, nothing there. Steps up, and he's got room to run. He's got lots of room across the 40 to the 45 and dives into Cedar territory right near the 50.
There we go. So I'm glad I made the comment, not that he can't run, but that they don't let him run. Showing a little bit of skill there, some speed, taking off up the middle when all of his receivers were covered. They're going hurry up here.
21 yards on the run. Barban, quick throw out to the right. First down the sideline, and a bit more.
Is caught by Easton Ellett.
Ellett on the catch, clear to the Cedar 35, 15 yards.
Yeah, they went hurry up there, and Cedar's defense just wasn't set up. There wasn't even a defender out there to cover Easton Ellett.
That's 130 passing yards for Bronson Barban. First down, Dixie looking to his right from the shotgun, throws just behind Barney, incomplete.
Yeah, so truly a rare miss there from Barban. He's usually pretty on target with those shorter routes. Just threw it right behind Barney, and he's unable to come up with it. So, yeah, appears that they're doing exactly what we were just talking about. Cedar's giving you the underneath routes. Take them.
Second down and 10. Barban again from the shotgun. Pressure coming. He gets it off and throws, finds Anderson. And this time it's Shea Anderson, hit immediately at the 25.
Yeah, that was Jack Cook who hit him right after the catch. But, yeah, I mean, Cedar's deep four guys aren't letting anything behind them. So if you run 10 yards and turn around, you're going to be open because Cedar does not want to get burned deep.
We'll see if Cedar can bend but not break here. And Barban flushed out to his right, looking to throw sideline in and out of the hands of Shea Anderson on the sideline.
Now this is where that concept gets a little bit harder because Cedar's DBs can only drop back so far. They're not quite into the red zone yet. Looks like they're on the 35-yard line, but as soon as that's the 35, right?
24. The 25. Yeah.
25-yard line. So, yeah, once you're into the red zone, it becomes a lot harder for those little underneath routes to work because the defense can't drop back as far.
Trips right. One back in the backfield. Barban takes the snap, and the screen is – oh, my goodness! Lit up. Avery Anderson had the catch and was blown up.
Peyton Murray, who read that screen like a book, said, I've seen this coming before. Lit up the smaller Avery Anderson as soon as he caught that ball.
No gain after the catch, was at the line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 10. Barban back to throw. Pressure comes, he's flushed right. Throws over the middle, catch at about the 12, and a first down.
That was Kesterson again, getting his second target on this drive. So Barban doing a great job of sharing the love. He's he's targeted at least 4 different receivers here on this drive, and it appears to be working.
A 12-yard gain and a first down at the Cedar 12. Barban back to throw, delayed handoff. Anderson breaks a tackle and gets down to about the 10.
Anderson. Brian White with the stop for the Reds.
Second down and 10, no gain.
Second down and 10.
We've talked a lot about the pressure on the Dixie Flyers quarterback, but they're also that Cedar defensive line has not allowed much of anything for rushing yards.
Yep.
For Avery Anderson, that's 4 carries, 6 yards. Barban from the shotgun, pitch out to Anderson left side. He cuts up the middle and is hammered. Big hit at the line of scrimmage. Anderson stuffed.
Avery Anderson, Brian White with the hit for the Reds.
I'm not positive what Anderson saw there. You know that you're a faster back. Why not try and get the edge instead of cutting up into the big guys? Don't run into the trenches when you're able to get around outside. So now we have a 3rd down and 9. So not 3rd and goal yet. Dixie's still able to get a first down at about the 3-yard line.
2 receivers right, 2 out left. Avery Anderson in motion, or Shea Anderson rather in motion. Barban looking to throw over the middle. In and out of the hands of Easton Ellett. Defense was there as well, may have contributed to the incompletion.
Charlie Cook with a nice read there. Once again, it's harder to throw these underneath routes, which have gotten you all the way down the field when the DBs can only go back so far, right? That you essentially the defense essentially has an extra defensive player being the back of the end zone. So it's much harder to score when you're in the red zone throwing these underneath routes.
4th and 9, Dixie going for it. Barbin looking right side, fade for the end zone. Knocked away, incomplete. Reds stop the Flyers.
Great defense there by Braxton Torres going up against the much taller Carson Greer. Threw up a simple fade route. All you can do, Carson Greer, like I said, about 6'5", 6'6", and Braxton Torres not much bigger, but able to break that one up on the 4th down.
So Cedar's defense, plenty of bend but no break, holds Dixie out of the end zone. 6:01 left in the 3rd. Garrett from the shotgun, again empty backfield. It worked on that last drive. 4 plays, 80 yards and a touchdown. Garrett, quarterback keeper all the way, room to run across the 15, lowers the helmet to the 16.
Stop made by number 41, Jonathan.
That last drive by Dixie ate up about 4.5 minutes, 13 plays, and they come up empty.
Yeah, that one's tough to not score on. I respect the call going for it on 4th down. I think you have to, being down 21-0 in the 3rd quarter, but yeah, that one hurts to not come up with anything there.
Garrett picks up 7. 2nd down and 3. And Cedar, I'd be surprised if they don't continue to just take their time, eat up the play clock. We've seen them do this since they won at Desert Hills, right, 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just take their time, not try to get into a big high-scoring slugfest. End around to Jack Cook, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, plows ahead, and it looks like he might have a 1st down across the 20.
Yeah, one thing that I love is when you see a quarterback with no running backs next to him, you think immediately you think, oh, pass, right? He can't hand it off to anybody. But what they're doing is they're running a jet motion almost every single time out of this formation. So 3 receivers right and 2 left, and essentially they're just bringing Jack Cook across the line every single time. So he does have a running back, so it will continue to keep the defense guessing, and it's not just going to be a pass every time.
Ball in the left hash, Cedar attacking left to right. So they've got 3 receivers on the wide side of the field, right side, with 2 receivers left. Garrett again from the shotgun. Again, the quarterback keeper, and he takes it up the middle, finds a little room left side across the 25 to about the 26.
Yeah, that's twice we've seen that exact same play, just a quarterback draw, and essentially they're just drawing out the linebackers, right? So Dixie's defense has to spread out much farther when you have 3 receivers on one side and 2 on the other side. Your linebackers have to be a little bit wider, so Garrett will just drop back, act like he's going to throw the ball, and then just tuck it and run. And because the linebackers are out wider, Garrett is able to typically turn it into a big gain.
Trips right again. That was a 6-yard gain. Garrett quietly 50 rushing yards in this contest. Man in motion is Braxton Torres. Give to Torres. No, Garrett kept it himself. Good decision because Torres had nowhere to run, and Garrett picks up 5 or 6 for a 1st down.
Yeah, Garrett had that big run on that last possession, that 30-yard run, so that's where most of his yards have come from. But that's 4 carries on this possession alone, and he's doing some nice things with it.
Making the good reads. Garrett, a senior quarterback, threw for 23 touchdowns last year and over 3,000 yards, wasn't it, Parker?
Yeah, an incredible season last year for Garrett. Hasn't quite done it the same this year, but they've won a few more ball games, and they're looking to make a run at a championship here.
I'm sure he would trade the couple more wins for a few hundred yards passing.
Yep.
1st and 10. Trips right, same formation, ball on the left hash, so Trips on the wide side of the field. Garrett takes the snap, and pressure comes. He gets rid of it to Jack Cook, caught at the 37, picks his way forward to the 40, maybe the 41. He thought he didn't go down. He pops up and heads upfield after the whistle.
Carson Greer.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued that they're staying with this formation. Typically when you want to just run the clock down, you want to have your running back there, and you want to just pound the rock with your running back, but they're keeping it with their skill guys, and Brinkerhoff's still standing on the sideline. I'm sure he's itching to get his hands back on the ball.
I tell you, though, it's working, and it's a set that Dixie had not prepared for.
Yeah.
So
I believe this is the first time they've seen this empty set.
2 receivers right, 3 left this time. Garrett back to throw. Play fake and then throws short. And Charles Cook makes the catch and slices down the sideline into Dixie territory before he's knocked out.
First and 10 Reds.
At the 46 of Dixie.
Yeah, so Jack Cook, Charlie's twin, was there to run the curl and go, and then Charlie just ran the curl, and both defenders went with the curl and go, and Charlie was left wide open at about 5 yards.
A gain of 13. Garrett now 10 of 14, a buck 43, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Fly sweep. Garrett keeps it himself, stumbles and trips down at midfield. Loss of 3 or 4.
Stop by McCade.
Yeah, that one was just an unfortunate slip. That was number 18, McCade Fielding, who got up the field and forced Garrett to run a little bit wider, and Garrett slips down for a loss. So a nice play there by Dixie's defense, finally catching on to this jet sweep read that Cedar has been continuing to pound.
Second down, 14, a minute 30 left, third quarter. Cedar leads 21-0. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Garrett alone in the backfield, shotgun. Looks down the right side, nothing there. Then tucks and runs into a defender at the original line of scrimmage. Runs him over for a couple yards to the 44.
Yeah, I like that play there by Garrett. Not necessarily the taking the defender head on. Kind of want my quarterback to protect his body, but I like not taking the deep shot. You see that you're up 21-0. I know you want to take a shot at the end zone. Give your guys a chance, but I respect being up 21-0 and just keeping it yourself, bringing up a third and shorter here for your offense.
Third down and 8 at the 44 of Dixie. Cedar again leading 21-0. Time running down in the third quarter. Brought to you by $5 Pizza. Garrett takes a low snap and fires left side. Caught. Braxton Torres makes a man miss down the sideline to the 30, all the way to the 20 before he's tripped up. A flag down clear back at the 49, though.
Penalty marker on the play.
It may have been some extracurricular stuff from one of the linemen for Cedar. We'll see which way the call goes. This one may be coming back.
Torres got all the way down to about the 20.
It's a personal foul.
It's a personal foul.
On the Dixie Flyers.
No indication of exactly what, but against Dixie.
Wow, that turns into a massive gain. I believe it was number 60 for Cedar. Don't have his name, but he pancake blocked. That was Kean Tolis. A good buddy of mine pancake blocked one of the Dixie defensive linemen, and he didn't like that. Had some words for him, and the official was standing right there.
So that puts Cedar half the distance to the goal. First and goal, just inside the 10. 21-0 Reds with under 30 seconds left, third quarter. The $5 Pizza third quarter. Garrett pointing at the clock saying, hey, do we let this thing run out to the fourth quarter or no? Line sets, and Garrett calls for it. Takes the snap, and it's the quarterback draw up the middle. Bounces right side, follows his block, and dives into the end zone. Reds lead 27-0.
Beautiful. Man, Jaron Gary's just a special talent. He's done a lot of really good things tonight, but on that drive, it was especially important. He managed the clock perfectly, got his guys where they needed to, had a couple hard counts, and then with his athleticism, multiple times extending the play, getting first downs, and eventually getting into the end zone there. Kick is up and good, makes it 28-0 here for the Reds. And this game looks pretty put away for now. Still a whole quarter to be played, 6 seconds left here in the third, but Dixie not scoring on that last drive was pretty huge. If they can score there and make it 7-21, that's a little more manageable, but unfortunately don't come away with points, and now it's 28-0, down 4 touchdowns heading into the fourth quarter. That would be some comeback there for the Flyers.
How about that drive by Cedar? First, their defense stops Dixie on a 4th and 10. Cedar takes over at their own 10, 90 yards, 10 plays, almost 6 minutes, and Jaron Garrett runs the last 10 into the end zone, 28-0 Reds. Again, Cedar, a month and a half ago, lost 24-19 against this Dixie team down in Dixie.
Yeah. Yeah, incredible stuff here from Garrett. That's exactly what you want to see out of your senior quarterback, is a 6-minute drive, being up 3 touchdowns, capping it off with a touchdown run of his own. That's awesome.
Hinojosa feeling the momentum as well. He boots this 1 yard deep into the end zone for the touchback.
First and 10.
This is the $5 Pizza third quarter. $5 Pizza has 2 locations in Cedar, one in the Providence Center and one up north near Canyon View High School. 2 locations for your convenience, and happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools. $5 Pizza. So Dixie with a big hole to try and dig out of. First and 10, Barban takes the snap and looking right, throws incomplete, threw it short.
Incomplete. Intended for Derek Kesterson.
Yeah, we'll see what this offense has to offer. Always hard getting out and wanting to stay on your blocks and block down the field when you're down 28-0. It's always tough.
Barban has missed on all three of his last 3 passing attempts, but he connects. No, it's bobbled. The flag flies in. Torres scoops it up just off the ground. Cook came in early. He thought his timing was good.
I thought his timing was good as well, but that'll be a penalty. That'll do it for the third quarter, but should be a first down here after that 15-yard pass interference. And that's where we will get to in the fourth quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter, brought to you by $5 Pizza. Stay tuned, fourth quarter action coming up. Reds lead 28-zip on Thunder 91.
$5 Pizza now has 2 locations in Cedar City. $5 offers pizza in 8-inch to 16-inch sizes. And in addition to the 30-inch Beast, they also have cinnamon bread, cheese bread, and chicken wings. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery too. $5 Pizza located at 1390 South Providence Center and now on North Main Street as well. $5 Pizza, happy to support athletics and other activities of local high schools.
Now they've determined that a quarter cannot end on a penalty. So will Dixie get another play here before the end of the third officially comes to be? That is Cedar's first penalty, 15 yards and a first down to the 35 for Dixie.
That is interesting. It's not like it matters, right? Why not just take that yardage on the other side?
I know a game and a half can't end on a penalty. Maybe I've just never witnessed a quarter not ending on a penalty. I didn't think that was a rule. Barban to throw with no time on the clock, third quarter. Deep out and going to his knees to make the catch. Josh Barney right at the 50. So that presumably would end the third quarter.
When the fourth quarter begins.
Barban completes that 15-yard pass to Josh Barney.
Some of our Cardinal sponsors.
Very interesting. So I'm pretty confused by that. I don't know why that would matter. You're just going to flip sides of the field and do the exact same thing you did. So I don't know. It's a little weird to me.
That does end the $5 Pizza third quarter. $5 Pizza has, of course, the 8-inch, 16-inch sizes, plus the big 30-inch Beast. Cinnamon bread, cheese bread, chicken wings, and more. $5 Pizza for carry-out and delivery, too. 2 locations. You can call $5 Pizza at the Providence Center at 865-9600 or at the North Main Street location. Same number, 865-9600 for $5 Pizza. So we switch sides. Dixie will attack left to right. That's north to south here at Cedar High School for this final quarter. And they've got 28 points to try and make up. Cedar's defense has been outstanding tonight.
Yeah, they've done a very, very nice job keeping this prolific Dixie offense at bay.
Barban in the shotgun, looking deep. A lot of routes going deep. He's flushed out to his left and finds the sideline, steps out after a gain of 5 or 6 at the Cedar 45.
At the 45, gain of 5.
Got flushed out of the pocket. Cedar's done a nice job defending the deeper routes, and they do once more.
5 for the Flyers.
For Bronson Barban, that's 8 carries minus 6 yards because of all those sacks in the first half. That includes a 21-yard scamper on that last drive.
Still almost back to positive.
2nd and 5. Barban back to throw. Better protection. A flag he throws deep down the middle of the field and knocked away.
Whoa.
Flag comes out last second as the pass knocked down at the goal line. Cedar fans wanted a hold in the backfield on the protection for Barban.
Yeah, there was a pretty tough no call there. Ben Ellis definitely had the edge on that tackle, and no penalty went there. That ball was in the air for a very long time, and both the receiver and the DB, it was Carson Greer and Braxton Torres who were battling for that jump ball. I mean, the crowd is a little bit mad, but I kind of understand it. You know, when you have a bigger guy going up like that, the little guy typically can get away with a lot more. So Braxton Torres fighting with Carson Greer, much taller than he is, and fouled him.
1st and 10, Dixie at the Cedar 30-yard line. 28-0 Reds on top. Barban back to throw. Fires a strike down to about the 18 or the 20-yard line. Kesterson on the catch.
Now this is where things got difficult for Dixie last time. They have to keep this momentum going. They have to score quick here. If they try and slow down, Cedar's going to be able to we have an injury timeout. Cedar fans clearly still upset about that no call on the hold and then the pass interference in the end zone. But so we'll take an injury timeout here again. This may be good for Dixie. You know, they're going to get over to the edge and be able to talk about what they want to do down here in the red zone because, like I said, this is where they got held up last time on their last possession.
Cedar leads 28-0. Here we're in the 4th quarter, 11:34 left to play on Thunder 91.
Hermes Drive-In is happy to sponsor youth activities in our area. They are located just north of the City Park on Main Street. Hermes features burgers, shakes, fries, and soft drinks, and a variety of other items, including scones. Hermes Drive-In, 294 North Main Street, Cedar City. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777.
I want to thank Ogden's Flooring and Design, one of our underwriters. 1st and 10, Dixie at the Cedar 18-yard line. Trips right in a bunch. Snap to Barban is a bit high, but he pulls it in. Flushed out to his left. Throws out toward his left and out of bounds, incomplete. And again, Cedar fans asking for the hold.
Intended for Josh Barney. It'll be 2nd down.
Barney, the intended receiver. Bronson Barban, a smart throw. He threw it high to the outside where either no one would get it or only his guy could get it.
They're trying to isolate Kesterson, I think that was, out on the edge. But good defense there. Sent a double team over there, actually. But like you said, Barban, smart to throw it high and away.
Trips out left. Barban looking left all the way. Steps up and breaks one tackle at about the 25. Then drives forward. It gets all the way down to the 10 before the Reds gang up and bring him down. It'll be 3rd and short.
It's kind of an interesting run. It kind of looked like a few Cedar defenders looked like he was going to go down, so they just didn't follow through on the tackle, and he turned it into a bigger gain.
Gain of 7.
I'll spot him at the 11-yard line, so a gain of 7. That puts Barban into the black on rushing yards. 9 carries, 1 yard.
Nice.
Unofficially, that's my stats. Trips, 2 receivers left, 2 wide right on a 3rd and 3. Barban looking to throw. Still looking. Fires over the middle. Low and incomplete. Intended for a diving Easton Ellett.
Intended for Easton Ellett.
Once again, this is where things get hard for the Dixie High Flyers. And give a ton of credit to Mark Esplin and this Cedar Reds defense. Pitching a shutout thus far and looking to keep it going here with another defensive stand in the red zone. 4th and about 4. Here for the Flyers.
10:37 left, 4th quarter. Cedar on top, 28-0. Trips left, 4th and 3. Dixie going for it. Give to Anderson up the middle, and Cedar stuffs him at about the 10. He may have gotten to the 8, which would be very close to a first down. Whitecap says move the chains.
Wow, he rolled really far forward.
I
thought they had him boxed up at about the line of scrimmage, but Anderson does a nice job fighting his way forward. We got 1st and goal here for the Flyers.
A little slippery runner, and he sneaks through for the first down. Barbin pitches to Anderson, left side, nothing outside. He cuts it back up the middle, puts a hand on the ground, and gets down to around the 5.
And you can just tell that Mark Esplin pounded into this defensive line's head. Nothing will get outside of you. That's twice that Anderson has tried to get outside and decided to cut it back up inside. You don't see that out of these smaller, faster running backs. They want to get outside. They want to be in space, but Cedar has done a great job keeping everything inside the tackles.
That containment, taking those angles that force him back into the middle. Anderson moves to the right hip of Barbin. 2 receivers left, 2 wide right. Shea Anderson in motion. Barbin takes the snap, fakes the handoff, flushed out to his right. Pressure coming, and he will escape, but to step out of bounds around the 7.
Runs out of bounds.
That was Trayton Payne once again in
Kobe
pursuit.
White.
He steps out at the 8, a loss of 2. And that brings up a 3rd and goal for Dixie at the 8. And again, Parker, you've hit it right on the head. When things get where there's less space, Dixie just can't find anything open.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with they have no running game. It's hard to throw the ball down here in these red zone situations.
Easton Ellett in motion. The give to Anderson around the right side. Nothing. Stuffed behind the line for a loss.
Avery Anderson tackled in the backfield by Savai Dotson for a loss.
Savai Dotson, haven't called his name as much this ball game, but
from the 10.
a well-timed big tackle in the backfield brings up a 4th and long, still goal for the Dixie Flyers here.
And that time Anderson, nothing was working inside, so he tried to break it outside. Dotson with the containment. We're going to get some equipment rattle off our table here as Barbin, play action, pressure comes, he throws, deflected, picked off. The Reds have it at the 12. And again, the Reds defense does the job.
Reception pressure on the quarterback by Trey Payne.
Who caught that?
And I think it was number 3, the D or the. Who is that?
That was Dallin Levitt.
I think he tipped it and then caught it with one hand.
He tipped it up to himself and was able to bring it in with one hand. Great play there by Dallin Levitt. And again, Trayton Payne with a massive hit on Barbin, who was slow to get up after that play.
4th quarter, 8:49 to play. Cedar takes over. A 2nd consecutive red zone stand for this Reds defense. And a penalty against Cedar.
Illegal participation. 12 men on the field.
12 men on the field.
It will be a 5-yard loss.
That's just the 3rd penalty of the game against Cedar. A couple PIs and that illegal participation.
Yeah, that was Charlie Cook, who didn't know that they had switched out of the empty set.
So back to their own 9-yard line. Reds give it to Brinkerhoff right side. Not much room. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard.
Tackle made by Braden Wilson.
You know, you got to be excited if you're Cedar about scoring 28 points tonight. But everything it goes back to how this defense has played.
Yeah. Truly incredible. From the game plan to the execution to the just downright nastiness that their defensive line has played with. It's been very fun to watch, and it's been quite the performance by this Cedar High defense.
Torres in motion, trying to get around the outside corner, follows a block, and gets out to around the 15. And how about Colby White again?
Colby freaking White is going to go to a D1 college just because he can block a cornerback, man. He is so good at maintaining his block for an extended period of time, allowing his skill guys to get up around him. You just don't see that out of wide receivers. You see them wanting to catch the ball and score touchdowns, but Colby White willing to do the dirty stuff to keep his team winning ball games. And on a night when his numbers are pedestrian, two receptions, 33 yards, but Torres picks up nothing on that gain, on that play, without White making that block, and that makes it a 5-yard gain for Torres, 3rd and 9.
Ball in the left hash. Reds attacking right to left, south to north in this fourth quarter. Give up the middle to White. Very conservative play call, and White dives into the line, plows ahead, or Brinkerhoff rather, for about 3.
Yeah, staying conservative. I respect it. Don't want to put anything in the air, especially when you're deep into your own territory. They'll just punt this ball away, and I mean, I don't see why not. The way your defense is playing, let's give them another chance to stop this Dixie offense. It's been incredible thus far.
Boy, and even if Dixie does come up with something, it's going to take a couple of minutes, most likely. The way Cedar's defense is playing, and with only 6 minutes and clock ticking, 34 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Reds taking all the time they can, waiting for that back judge to start ticking off the 5-4. He starts that, and Hernandez calls for the snap. Gets off a high end-to-end spiral, coming up to make the catch, and fielded it around the 45. Reds wrap him up immediately.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, I've caught a few touchdown passes. I've had a few diving catches, but nothing feels better on the football field than a defensive unit pitching a shutout. You know, the energy with this defensive unit right here, just the entire shebang is just beautiful to see. And I can tell you one thing, that this defense and defensive coordinator Mark Esplin is going to be very pleased with his defense.
Handoff to Anderson, right side, gets around the end, but then defense comes in to help the linebacker, and not much of a gain for Anderson.
Gain of a yard on the play, 2nd and 9.
To the 42, a 1-yard gain for Avery Anderson. That's 9 carries, 12 yards. Barvin back to throw. Looking deep down the right sideline. He's overthrown everybody. The Reds defender had the best shot at it, but incomplete.
Carson Greer. Coverage on the play by Connor Hartman.
Big wide receiver Carson Greer, hoping to, send up a prayer and maybe he can come down with it, but ends up a little short on that one.
It was one-on-one, man-to-man coverage out there, but who's that Reds defender? He was right there.
5. He's been awesome in coverage multiple times tonight.
Sophomore Connor Hardman. 3rd and 9 for Dixie. Reds lead 28-0, 5:36 left to play. Again, the Reds lost at Dixie a month and a half ago, 24-19. Long throw on the deep out left side, and caught on the sideline, and Josh Barney with the first down and a little more.
He probably has over 100 yards tonight. Josh Barney has had a bunch of gains, typically shorter gains, right? Like we've been saying, taking what the defense gives you, which is the underneath routes. But Josh Barney has had a nice night.
Got him with 6 catches for 61 yards. Barvin throws out to his right, in and out of the hands of Easton Ellett. Turned to run before he had it in his hands. Incomplete.
2nd down.
That stops the clock at 5:16 to play. Fourth quarter. Reds on top, 28-0. Barvin, quick throw right side, looking again, just go right back to Ellett, and the pass misfired, incomplete.
Yeah, there have been a few passes like that where he throws it to where his receiver is, not where he's going to be. And a couple miscues from Barvin. 5:12 left here in the ball game, 28-0. Cedar Reds leading the Dixie Flyers.
3rd down and 10. Dixie at the Cedar 29. Barvin back to throw. Deep down the right side, and he almost threw his receiver open, Easton Ellett, but just out of reach, incomplete.
A few more updates. Skyview defeated Desert Hills 42-12. Snow Canyon defeated Logan 35-16. Pineview still up 28-3. That score may have changed, hasn't updated yet, but
some dominant wins all around. This one we thought would be a lot closer, but Cedar defense has been absolutely dominant. Barvin back to throw on 4th and 10. Flushed out to his right. Cedar fans want to hold as Barvin extends the play, gets to the sideline, reaches out. He'll be well short of the first down at about the 25.
Oh, no. I don't know where he thought he was on the field, but he reached out. He was close to the 4th down, and he just wasn't there. I was about 10 yards short.
He broke the plane of the 27.
I don't know where he thought he was, but
it'll be 1st and 10.
Been that kind of night for this Dixie High offense, and just a dominant win for this Cedar High defense.
4:57 to play, and if the Reds can pick up a 1st down and run out the clock, that defense will earn the shutout. Garrett in the shotgun. Back to the 2-back set. Takes a low snap and gives to Brinkerhoff. A little bit of a hole up the middle across the 30 for a short gain.
One thing I will say now, when you're trying to establish a run in the playoffs, is you got to stay healthy.
Right.
When do you pull your starters? When do you get some younger guys in there and try and protect your older players? I know you want to win as definitively as you can, but when do you protect these players? I saw an offensive lineman just get rolled up on coming into the game. They're relatively healthy, haven't had a ton of big injuries. They got one lineman who's a little banged up, but when do you start pulling these starters?
Cedar taking all the time it can. Just over 4 minutes to play. Garrett gives to Brian White, and he just plows ahead for 4 or 5 across the 35, very close to a 1st down.
About his 1st down.
Tackled made by Kate Hansen.
Brinkerhoff picked up 4 on 1st down. White goes out to the 38. That's 7 yards and a 1st down. White just 3 carries, but 25 yards in the game.
Yeah, and he's been in the receiving game a little bit. He scored that touchdown off of that quote-unquote screen pass.
A 1st down for the Reds, under 4 minutes to go. 28-0. Cedar on its home field tonight in the 2nd round of the playoffs. Came in as number 4 from Region 9. Garrett, the snap, play option, pitch to Brinkerhoff, right side, 1st down at the 50. Drug down there.
That same triple option out of the 2-back set. Garrett does a very nice job reading it. I don't know if he's messed up a read yet tonight. Been a great night, really all around for this Cedar High ball team.
So Cedar had lost at Dixie and finished below Dixie in the region, but 1 spot ahead of Dixie in the RPI and earned the home game against Dixie tonight. Cedar took advantage of that home field, didn't they?
Yep.
Garrett from the shotgun. Give to Brinkerhoff. He just lowered his shoulder pads, was hit behind the line, and picked up 4. Oh, that was White, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brian White has done a really great job of doing that, really on all aspects tonight. Anytime he gets the ball, he knows he's going to get hit, but he just says, I'm going to hit you first, I'm going to lower my head, and I'm going to roll forward and get positive yards.
Well, you heard that pop from up here. 60 or 70 yards away to midfield and then across the track and up the bleachers. 2nd down and 7 after a gain of 3 for Brian White. Reds pick up 1 more 1st down. This one is as good as done. Colby White in motion. Garrett takes the snap and gives to White around the right side. Give your senior a carry. He gets to the 45 and not much more. Can't say enough about what a job Colby White has done tonight as a receiver blocking downfield. Picks up 2 to the 45. So Cedar will have to travel from the southwest corner of the state to the northeast corner of the state next week. It's Skyview, right, Parker?
I have not seen the bracket, actually. I don't know who they play next week. Did they play the winner of Desert Hills and Skyview?
Yeah.
All right, well, Skyview with a big win against Desert Hills, 42-12. So we will see. And we'll see what happens there. That's going to be that'll be a fun one.
Cedar takes a timeout with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to play. I imagine they'll put in some second-string guys here. We'll take 1 quick break. Invite you to stay tuned for our Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy player of the game during the Brad's Food Hut and Carter Creek Concrete to go post-game wrap-up. This is the 4th quarter. Cedar up 28-0 on Thunder 91.
Wendy's in Cedar City and Hurricane is happy to be a part of bringing broadcasts of high school activities for the youth in this area. Wendy's is open for breakfast early in the day and offers its full menu throughout the day and evening. Drive-up and delivery is available, and they have plenty of specials to choose from. Wendy's of Cedar City and Hurricane. Ogden's Flooring and Design welcomes you to their showroom floor at 2232 North Main Street in Cedar City. Celeste Johnson and the staff can answer any questions about your flooring projects. 867-1777. That's 867-1777. Ogden's is happy to present this athletic event.
Cedar on top 28-0 with 1:30 to play. And they send in the second string for a couple more plays. 3rd and 5, give up the middle, nothing doing. In fact, brought down in the backfield. And boy, that might have been unsportsmanlike right there.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Kind of threw him around and then got up and celebrated in his face. So that'll bring up a 4th down. They're just going to keep their offense on the field. If they can get this 4th down here, this game will be over. I mean, it already is over, but it'll be over without Dixie getting another chance to put some points on the board.
Kason Crandall in the game, and as much as Cedar passes the ball and runs that spread offense, I got Jaron Garrett, 11 of 15, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Just 16 or 15 pass attempts. The way they've taken all the time to run the play clock down, limit Dixie's opportunities to have the football or possession of the football has been real effective.
Yeah, that'll lead into my player of the game, and Cedar will just take the delay of game.
The delay of game will move the ball back 5 yards.
And then I think they'll just punt this ball away.
Where it remains at 4th down.
Still be 4th down and 5 yards back, a 4th and 13. Cedar back into its own territory at the 47.
Edgar Hernandez on to punt for the Reds.
Yeah, after that first half, I don't know that there's much question. And nobody else really had, especially offensively, nobody else had a real big game. So it'll be, I think, a pretty easy pick for your Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy player of the game.
Yes,
Parker.
but also no, because I'm going to switch it up a little bit, but I'm going to surprise you.
I'm looking forward to it. Hernandez to boot this one away. Gets off a real nice wobbly spiral. Fielded at the 16. Some room to run. And out to the left sideline to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 30. And Greer with a nice return out around the 35.
Peyton Murray was ready for his game to be over, but why not get another tackle, forces Greer out of bounds on that one. And, he'll actually stay on the field. Oh, nope. And now he comes off. Get the second string defense, a chance to get some tackles, knock some heads around. You love to see it. 26 seconds left here in the ball game. 28-0. Cedar Reds up on the Dixie Flyers.
Is that Bronson Barbin still in there at quarterback? Barbin takes the snap and gives up the middle. And out to the 40-yard line, a short gain to Timothy Uleman.
I should do it for the ball game. I don't think Dixie wants to run another play. So, man, I tell you, just as a Cedar native, all right, Dixie's going to try and run one more.
Give again to Uleman, and he runs left side, not much room. And Cedar not only wins, upsets Dixie as far as Region 9 standings go. The Reds pitch the shutout, 28-0 here on Thunder 91.
Yeah, like I was saying, being a Cedar native and playing Cedar High football, that one's special, man. Dixie's been around forever, been a powerhouse forever, knocked Cedar out of the playoffs multiple times. This one feels good for this Cedar Reds team. To get a win over a Region 9 opponent in the playoffs is something that these kids will never forget. And to do it in this fashion, shutting out such a great offense that Dixie has, it's really something special. And I'm looking forward to Cedar doing some good things here moving forward.
We've got your post-game wrap-up brought to you by Brad's Food Hut and Carter Creek Concrete to go, including the Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy player of the game coming up. 28-0 Cedar wins at home here on Thunder 91. Stay tuned.
Brad's Food Hut is happy to present this broadcast. Brad's is a traditional fixture in Cedar City and features the Bronco Burger, fish and chips, grilled cheese, and grilled turkey sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, shakes, and of course, soft drinks. Brad's is located on North Main Street in Cedar City. Township Pharmacy is located near the hospital just off Main Street. and Bullock's Drug is downtown. Each pharmacy can fill your prescriptions, and they're happy to bring this broadcast your way. Curbside service available or inside the pharmacy. Township Pharmacy.
That brings us to the Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy post-game wrap-up. Cedar Reds earned the win 28-0. The Reds forced a fumble on Dixie's first possession, and Cedar went up 7-0. Couple possessions later, Jaron Garrett would finish 11 of 15 for 167 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception thrown. Jack Cook, the recipient of 1 touchdown, 43 yards. Brian White caught the other for 28 yards. And then Jaron Garrett also scored 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 from 2 yards out and 1 from 10 yards out. And the Reds avenged the loss from about a month and a half ago at Dixie in a big way. They lost 24-19 there on September 17th. They win 28-0 tonight in the playoffs. Though you might say the one that matters more, right,
Yep.
Parker?
Yeah, absolutely. You always love to beat a Region 9 team, but again, to do it in this fashion, pitching a shutout, scoring 28 points, really an all-around awesome game from this Cedar High ball club, and you just really love to see it.
Well, if you're a Cedar fan, you love to see it.
that's
Dixie
fair.
fans are going.
That's fair.
The RPI put us on the road against a team that we beat, and we're better in the region than.
Yeah.
But, boy, Cedar.
That's a hard one, serious. I've seen a lot of things on social media, on Twitter, that people hate the RPI and want to go back to the way things were, and I kind of agree with them. It benefited Cedar in this situation, but it just makes you have an easier preseason schedule. Just because Dixie wanted to play these bigger 5A and 6A schools in the preseason, they have to suffer for it come postseason. So I kind of agree with them. I don't love the RPI rating system, but
right.
It is what it is, and you make the best of what you can. And Cedar came away victorious on this one.
Time for your Bullock Drug and Township Pharmacy Player of the Game. We talked about it at the half, and you said, though, just a couple minutes ago, you have a surprise for me. I'm interested to hear your Player of the Game tonight, Parker.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Trayton Payne is my real player of the game. He was just extremely disruptive the whole time, but I wanted to give it to the defense, and then I thought, well, I'll just give it to Coach Esplin. So he didn't play in the ball game, but just the whole scheme of what he had his defense doing. Like I stated before, the Anderson twins can hurt you on big plays. So he said, don't let them get into open space. Keep everything inside of – we are always the farthest person from the ball, if that makes sense, right? So if they're trying to run outside, we're outside farther. If they're trying to go deep, we're deeper. He kept everything inside his defense, and his defense executed perfectly. And my player of the game is Coach Esplin for coming up with a brilliant game plan, and his defense was able to execute it perfectly, and just a really awesome performance from the offense as well. But anytime you see a goose egg on the board, you got to give credit to a defense.
So I like it. I like any of those picks that you just mentioned. Any one of those 3 would have been great picks in my book. Let me give you some quick final stats, at least from what I tallied. Unofficially, Cedar finishes with 333 yards of offense, and how about this for balance? 167 through the air, 166 on the ground. That's unofficial, but
that's
real
awesome.
close. Dixie goes 205 total, 193 through the air, a total of 12 on the ground. They picked up 42 yards of rushing offense in the second half, but finished with just 12 rushing yards. And again, I just want to speak to the job. You mentioned Mark Esplin as the player of the game. The job that his guys did executing tonight, their defensive game plan, sacking Bronson Barbin 6 times in the first half. They didn't let Dixie beat them with those big plays, which is how Dixie won in the first game. And then Cedar took care of the football. So masterfully coached, excellently executed by these Cedar Reds, and a 28-0 win. Great game tonight.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited. One thing that Coach Bennett always preached to us my senior year was we want to be playing our best football come October and November. And with this football team and with this program, I think that they are, in fact, playing their best football right now, and I'm extremely excited to see what they can do in these playoffs.
28-0, the Reds with the win. Let's look quickly at what games we might have next week in playoff football. The Reds, where did my bracket go? The winner of this one, of course, Cedar, slated to take on Skyview at Skyview. So that was the winner between Skyview and Desert Hills. We know Skyview won that one. So we'll have Cedar at Skyview next Friday. 6 p.m. kickoff is the scheduled time. And then as far as like Pineview will take on the winner between Bear River, Green Canyon, and Snow Canyon, who won tonight, will take on the winner of Mountain View and Stansbury. This is on to the quarterfinals next week.
So Bear River won.
Okay.
So Bear River will play Pineview, you said?
Yes.
So Bear River beat Green Canyon, and they will be playing Pineview. And then Stansbury defeated Mountain View. And so Snow Canyon will – I'm assuming Stansbury will actually travel to Snow Canyon.
Right.
And play Snow Canyon.
Yeah.
Stansbury with a 63-49 win over Mountain View. So that's a big win there.
That's a lot of offense.
That's a lot of points.
All right. And then do you have the other side of the bracket with Ridgeline and Cedar Valley?
Yes, and then Ridgeline defeated Cedar Valley 64-14.
Wow.
And then Park City was up 38-0 on Ogden at half. And then Pineview was up 28-3 on Crimson at half. So
okay.
We can assume that those games ended in that fashion.
So the quarterfinals are set, and Cedar will be at Skyview next Friday night. All right, Parker, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, of course. Always a good time. Always love it.
28-0, the Reds with the win. We thank our sponsors, including the post-game wrap-up sponsor, Brad's Food Hut and Carter Creek Concrete to Go. Until next Friday, thanks for tuning in. This is Thunder 91.